Hello, everyone, and welcome back to SportyCast Football. This is episode 118 of the 343 podcast. And of course, in today's episode, we'll be covering a couple of things: this past weekend's results, the FA Cup final, of course, that took place this weekend. We'll look forward to the last weekend of the spots, and we'll make some predictions as to who we think is going to make it. And we, of course, will be we'll do this at the end because maybe the team news will kind of be out at the time, but we'll look at, of course, the massive final. I say massive, but, the two teams are a bit lowly. But the big final that's up this evening between Manchester United and Tottenham Hotspur, the Europa League final. So we'll preview that at the end. But my name is Riaz Parker, and with me today is the duo, the terrible duo.
Terrible.
It's AF and Jason. AF, how's it going this evening?
Nah, I was doing great until
it's just because you guys are together there, so it feels like I'm
This one hates Greenhaven. That's what I heard now. You hate Greenhaven.
What's the hate, bro?
It's more than like I'm jealous, man, that I didn't come out of the door. I'm jealous that I didn't come out of the door. That's the whole thing.
One of these episodes.
Look. This sounds like a you episode, a you sort of problem because
you problem.
You're the one that you don't want to watch Spurs games with us. So
who wants to watch Spurs games? Let's get real.
Here. No, I'm an Arsenal fan and I'm here. So where the hell are you? That's the question.
That's true. That's a fair statement. But in any event, are you guys doing well? Are you guys excited at doing okay this week? It's a bit cold.
Yeah, no, I'm doing good. I don't think people can see AF is shaking here next to me, man. So I think this guy is he's feeling something about this evening.
Really, man.
But yeah, I'm okay. I'm all good, man. Happy to not have the nerves, I suppose, for that the final brings. Whether it's a good or a bad thing, I don't know. Maybe I've just got so much trauma that I've just internalized it and said, you know what, it's fine to not be in a final. But that's not what we're going to be talking about tonight. So yeah, good to be here.
I mean, you guys will get there. I'm sure it's an upward trend, I guess. If you think about it.
Don't bro me from a Spurs fan, my bro. Don't say that
I'm being positive. I'm saying you're on an upward trajectory.
I could knock your block.
I was being nice. Jay was. I was being nice. Come on now. AF, he says you're shaking. Maybe that's just because you're too excited to lift the trophy. Is that the case? Like what?
I'm shaking because it's cold and I don't have the heater here in the back room. So.
That's true. There's normally a heater there.
Yeah, I needed to make space for Jason today, so
a big presence in the box, a little fox in the box.
Yeah,
I'm sure Ziad can attest to that.
Arriving late on the scene. That's fair. But I want to start with the weekend, the past weekend results. There were a couple of really good results for some teams. I'll start with you guys, actually, Jason, because it was a massive result for your team, having lost 3 times to Newcastle previously this season. So to kind of make that statement win, make sure that you guys are going to finish second, that must have been really, really good for you in terms of confidence-wise. Because technically, if you guys lost, it could have gone downhill fast.
I think there were a lot of permutations going into it. I'm looking at the screen now. We would have probably There would have been a point ahead of us. That would have been very scary hours going into that last game, especially with the performance that Southampton put in recently against City, I think, at home. But yeah, I don't know. I felt like it wasn't. They had chances, and I think we had showed up. I think Raya decided that was the day that he was going to turn up, and I was happy for that. Not too many chances the way of Arsenal, but I mean, you only need one, and it's that good goal. So yeah, happy to have got the win. I think I sort of breathed a sigh of relief when I saw Isak wasn't playing, because it's like everybody develops a personal vendetta, but no more than him this season. Almost as if it's like, okay, so you're not going to sign me, so this is what I'm going to do against your club every time. And yeah, I think the fact that Wilson was playing was maybe a bit better for us. But yeah, I think they also just made the occasion a lot bigger than it needed to be, and happy to have made it out there with a 1-0 win.
Yeah, it was crucial, even though it was just 1-0. It was a crucial win for you guys. I mean, AF, I'm not sure if you caught the game, but it could have been sticky fixture, but they kind of got through it in the end. And does that mean that Arsenal kind of securing that second place now? Is it secured?
Yeah, I think that should be secured up. I can't see Manchester City losing. I think it's Fulham on final day.
Yeah, Fulham.
I can't see them losing against Fulham on the final day. Arsenal has Fulham. I can't see them losing that one. Also, you made a point last week about Southampton just trying to get that monkey off the back for the 11 points.
Yeah,
they got to 12 points. And
now it's fine.
Yeah, I think they're okay now. They're not going to have that league. But yeah, I think Arsenal should finish second now. I think City is set to take the third spot, and then 4 and 5 I think is going to be the ones to actually look forward to on the final weekend.
But I mean, even if we do falter, right?
Yeah.
And if Southampton turn up in their last game in the Prem this season, it still gets level on points if City do win. And I think thankfully this season we've gotten goal difference, unless Southampton turn up as prime Barcelona and they slap us around, and then City also do the business against Fulham, which even if they win, I don't expect many goals, in the way of 8 goals.
Yeah.
8-goal swing is a bit much, right? So yeah, even if we tie the points and it's we still get second, so I'm okay.
Yeah, that's fair. I mean, because you won the game and that's what kind of secured it. So Fulham can't be Arsenal light. They don't have a set piece coach. Or the set piece coach that you see, they might have a set piece coach. Yeah,
it's just maybe not standing on the touchline. Maybe he's actually just sitting down on the bench. And maybe the camera doesn't pick him out all the time. Because I found this now, and
maybe
guys, I seem like a bra that's gonna cry all the time now. But Villa's set piece coach stands on the side as well.
Yeah,
and it's like they look for things. I mean, that's fine. Media is media, but it is what it is, man. At the start of the season, the guys basically. And then I saw all of the memes about how he was guiding when we had to do the Guard of Honor as well.
Mm-hmm.
It's like and I'm like, your internet is too fast. They're way too quick with it.
Like we're speaking about set piece coaches and basically teams copying Arsenal style. I don't know if you guys caught the game on Monday night with Brighton and Liverpool, and Brighton literally did a verbatim Arsenal set piece with the guys running in a straight line behind the back line, falling in literally verbatim. This guy's just setting a blueprint here for everybody else to use.
Look at AF now. Under this thing is a Arsenal jersey. So this is a closeted Arsenal fan.
The Adidas jersey.
AF's an Arsenal fan. I'm a closeted Arsenal fan. What's
now you have it. Now you have it. Andy. As an Arsenal fan,
he went the wrong side also. Get yourself together. I think he would prefer to be honest, a United fan. But talking about the kind of the
you would prefer to be an Arsenal fan.
Prefer to be an Arsenal fan. Yeah.
No, absolutely.
Yes, that's exactly what I said. Looking at kind of talking about Villa now, you brought Villa up. So I want to talk about this Emiliano Martinez, Emi Martinez kind of send-off that kind of happened. I wasn't aware of it until he started crying at the end of the game and they were saying he has to leave at the end of the season. Can any of you kind of help me a bit with shedding some light on this situation? Because people are saying, I've seen online that people are saying it's kind of a PSR situation where they have to sell him. Is that true, or are they just looking for a better keeper in the market?
Okay, you can go.
No, I was actually going to say that I didn't hear anything about that. I just saw that he was crying, but I mean, look, it's always tears of joy when you must be Spurs, man. So I thought that was how it was. He's obviously a former Arsenal player. But I didn't think that he would be the one to command the fee for that PSR. Like, he's old. I think he's like 32, 33 maybe or something.
But in like goalkeeper terms, that's not really old.
Fair play. But yeah, I'm not sure where or does he stay in the Prem, or is he going to go elsewhere? If he does go elsewhere,
he's linked to United firstly.
Okay,
but he's linked to 2 Saudi clubs as well. So I mean, I think it's Al Hilal and Al Ittifaq.
Oh,
I
yeah,
think it's those two that's linked with him,
Wouldn't
or
that be
he's linked
Gerard
with.
Manage,
Please, no
right?
swearing
Or
on the
something.
podcast,
yeah.
Dave.
So
Yeah.
the thing is, they're probably going to command a higher fee. Like they're probably going to pay more money than what United is. United's partially broke at the moment, so which
Cunha's
is
still
why
on the way, isn't it?
which is why tonight's game is so important. So I think United will probably go like a maximum of like 30 mil for him, whereas the Saudi clubs will probably bid in excess of 50 mil. So if it is a PSR thing, then I would think that he goes Saudi.
But also, I was seeing something, and it's getting to that silly season where all these rumors are circulating. But I saw something about Ronaldo possibly going to Al Hilal as well. I think they're in the blue strip, right? Yeah. So he might be going there. But if I understand correctly, who's standing there? Is it the Moroccan keeper or
I think it's Bono. Yeah.
Bono or okay. So wait, where's Edward Mendy?
He's
not at Al Nassr.
He's the one that Salah was linked to a club. I think that was Etihad. Or Etihad. I think.
Okay. Either way,
they're the yellow people. You know a lot about the Saudi league. I'm impressed.
Look,
that's what happens when you scroll on Twitter, bruh.
Yeah, when there's more exciting things happening in the other leagues, man, then you can go support other teams.
100%.
But yeah, no, I think it's. I mean, if he's gonna leave, he's been a good servant. Villa's literally kept a World Cup winning goalkeeper for a very long time. But yeah, if he wants to cash in like John Duran, I think John Duran scored like 1 or 2 goals in like a whole season. He's been utterly horrible, but he's also created generational wealth for all of the Duran clan that will then follow. So maybe Martinez does the same.
Yeah, but I mean, he's a good keeper, and I think he's good for Villa. I just think hot take he's overrated, unfortunately, because people and I don't mean overrated as in like he's not good. He's a good keeper, but people say he's the best keeper in the world, which I
absolutely not
find.
I think maybe a few seasons back when he had that World Cup run, maybe then he was doing well. But
kind of
he's
sad when we're leaving because I think Villa fans love him. I think.
Yeah.
I also just think he chirps too much.
Agreed. Agreed. But yeah, it's agreed. He's not good enough for that level of banter.
Yeah.
If you wanna come in on this comment that we've had from Yasin.
I don't think I really want to because whether I want it or not, it's not gonna happen. I think that he said that he wants to stay in Europe, so chances are him going to Saudi won't happen.
They're jumping ahead now, but do you think that kind of you guys are going to look for another keeper, or do you think that Onana will kind of stay for another season?
I think United is definitely going to look for another keeper. Whether that means Onana drops down to number 2 is another story. A person that we are linked with, is Vanja Milinkovic-Savic. Sounds a bit familiar because his brother was a person that was linked to United for 5 years in a row, about 3 years back before he moved to the Saudi league. But yeah, Vanja, he was
like a Sancho deal.
At United. He was at United's academy. He came through the ranks over there, but he couldn't get a work permit, so they had to basically just try to get him off the books and stuff like that. But I think they have inserted a buyback clause or something like that in that deal. So I think that they'll be able to work something out.
I've been hearing you wax lyrical about these buyback clauses for the past 2 weeks.
Literally, and I'm sitting here, and I think AF is the only one in his club that knows about all of these buyback clauses because there's a left back is going to every other club, and every time AF's like, but guys, we have a 15-year-old buyback.
And then today they reported that United is making a deal with Madrid as compensation. So Madrid don't have to pay the full fee to Benfica. So now they're going to pay a partial fee to United. and United still gets a sell-on. I think it's like 45% sell-on clause to Madrid on top of the compensation fee that Madrid is going to give them.
Businessman.
This is what happens.
Yeah.
You sell your kids from the academy, and you put all of these clauses into their deals, so that when they become like bigger, like the player skill grows, the value is just like, okay, United, we're gonna collect everything back again.
Is there a sell-on clause for Henderson? Because he put in an inspired performance over the weekend, and surely he goes for something.
Nope.
Oh, okay.
Nothing.
No, sorry.
It's a good question.
I think.
Well, he should have been sent off.
Yeah, no, fair. But
what do you mean? I don't know. That was clean, man. That was clean.
Man United, bro. I'm thinking, what's
that
that
was clean, man.
Wasn't it against Spurs? No, back in the day, who was that keeper? Tom Carroll.
Roy Carroll.
Andy Carroll.
No, not Andy Carroll. The
Roy.
Tom Carroll.
Goalkeeper when
Roy
Roy
Carroll.
Anyway, Sass goalkeeper. No, I think it was against Spurs. Was it like Robbie Keane or something? A volley or something like that. And
through the legs.
That ball was so far over the line. It was basically grazing the net. They said no goal.
Bro.
Henderson is perfect for United. Yes,
keeper. If he had to go to a foot challenge into any of those City players and still not get a red card, I still would say it's not a red card.
Yeah.
Anything to make City not win the game.
Yeah.
Thanks for that non-biased part of the champ is in the house. Thanks for that, Asfar, as well. That's lovely, and I appreciate the sentiments.
I don't know what they want. Well. I haven't heard anything. It's probably been the quietest Premier League Championship win.
No, but it's maybe
don't you think that's nice?
They also don't care about football.
And it's nice to actually have a fan base that doesn't pull it in your face, unlike other people. And I'm looking at the two of you guys.
What do you mean? What if I won that I could ever put in your face?
Just exactly, but like it just comes up.
Yeah,
you guys win games.
That's a trophy, my friend. Community Shield's a trophy.
You guys win Premier League Summer Series over in America.
I don't think so, bro. Even if we won that, I think Jurien Timber got injured after that. So either way, we had lost something there. But honestly, man, there's nothing that I can hold over now until my team wins a trophy, bro. Then it's all just nice football. But this isn't my show, man. Let's maybe talk about Liverpool. Let's maybe talk about Liverpool and how they're still drunk.
Nah, we're not Liverpool. We don't speak about Liverpool today.
Well, it's interesting that we're saying that, right? Because they play Crystal Palace this weekend. So who's going to be the drunk of the two? That's the real question.
Thank you, Asfar, but let's just keep the expectations low. But that is true. I'm gonna come on at the Liverpool game shortly. But I want to talk. It's facts. Anyways, the last game that I want to talk about from this weekend was the Nottingham Forest West Ham game. I'm not sure if you caught it. Nottingham Forest crucially getting that win 2-1 against West Ham away. It's been a bit of a drop-off for them recently. They have dropped a few points here and there, but that win was crucial in terms of the table because now they're still in with a chance. They need to beat Chelsea this weekend. Yeah. And what kind of was the reason? What do we think is the reason for that drop-off?
Running out of gas. That's the best
thing. But also losing Chris Wood, that seemed like when he got injured, it was such a pivotal time for them because they went out of FA Cup, they lost steam in the league, and then
even when he returned, he didn't come back a bit.
He hasn't seen what was it like a hamstring injury?
He didn't really hit the ground running after that.
So probably that, and then also just I think the expectation of the season where I think they were fine where nobody were really talking about them and they were just quietly getting the points around, but. Yeah, I think maybe some of that belief where they thought, okay, no, it's actually so close to getting it. They're not completely out. If they somehow turn up and they beat Chelsea, then they will move up there. I think Villa play United, so maybe Villa move into the top 5.
Yeah.
Newcastle play Everton, and I think that's at home, right? Because they played the last game at Goodison now over the weekend. So yeah, there's a lot of movement. I have a feeling that not at their home ground on Sunday. I think it's Sunday. Yeah, all the games on Sunday. It's going to be pumping, and I think they must likely come out with a win, and then it causes some 6-way tie for something, and yeah, it's going to be wild.
I hope so. I mean, if they beat Chelsea, they will overtake Chelsea to go 5th. What was?
Yeah, possibly. But then it's Villa that could also win against United, and then Villa would go above them, and then if Villa's goal difference isn't the best. So yeah, the way I see it is if everybody wins below Chelsea go down to like 7th, and then if they win the Europa Conference League, they go into the Europa, and then you've explained this whole thing to me about how the 8th person could still get European football, and that's actually mental.
So 8th position can still get Conference League. If Chelsea wins the Conference League, then they go into Europa, and Chelsea finishes 7th, then that means the Conference League spot goes down to the 8th spot.
Yeah. I apologize, Austin. I do apologize, but as long as Chelsea don't make it into the Champions League, I'm good. I'm good to go. So they can go into Europa. It's all good. Austin made a good point though, and he said that the positive thing is that fighters can't sit back for 90 minutes. They have to get a result, which is the difference to kind of how they've been playing for the past season. And that really could work in Chelsea's favor. It just depends on how Chelsea kind of exploit that, I suppose, moving forward. But it's going to be a good game. It's going to really be a good game.
It's also whether Cucurella can make it into the box, because it seems like he's the only one that can score front there. Cole Palmer is
lukewarm.
Yeah, very lukewarm at this moment in time. And I'm not sure what it is. I think it's just, has he played too many games? Have teams figured him out, or is he just like devoid of confidence, or I genuinely don't know. But these last few
I've
games,
heard something.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I've heard something that kind of said like the manager's kind of wanting them to play a certain way, and it's kind of taking away his creative freedom or something. But that might just be a rumor. But yeah, but he's disappeared since like the managers kind of put his stamp on the team. So it could be that.
Anyway, I mean, look, we had spoken when Poch was still in. There were times where they would just give the ball to him and hope that he'd figure something out.
Yeah.
So I think in the longevity sense, for them to be able to win games without his influence, maybe is something good. But yeah, I don't know. I think for his perspective and his form perspective, it's probably not the best thing. But I think what works in his favor is that there's no international football really unless you're going to the Club World Cup, and I don't think Chelsea are.
No, they are.
They are
because
there was going to be a break.
I don't know how.
For some teams, maybe there's a break, but yeah.
So the way the Club World Cup is structured now, because it's the inaugural one.
Yeah.
It's something about like the honors for the past like 3 years in European football.
Okay.
And they won the Champions League, I think, like 3 years ago.
Yeah.
2 years
I
ago.
think it was 2021.
Yeah. So yeah, that was
crazy
the entry point.
Okay, no, that's fair. But I mean, look, let's all rep local and Sundowns, isn't it? Mamelodi Sundowns.
Sundowns for the win. Apparently, they've already won the PSL, a long way. But in any case, I digress.
Yeah.
So looking at
title, 15th in the history. There we go.
That's some good knowledge from you there.
Yeah.
That's I appreciate any knowledge that you can impart on me. I humbly accept. Thank you so much. I want to go on to the top 4 now, or the top 5, I suppose. Those European places for this weekend ahead. And Arsenal are playing. Who did you say Arsenal are playing? Southampton.
Arsenal playing Southampton at St. Mary's.
So that's a sorted game. The Arsenal should win that, and if not even, they will stay second. So we know that the top 2, Liverpool and Arsenal. Manchester City are third. They go into a Fulham game, which could be tricky. Newcastle are fourth currently, which they're 2 points behind Manchester City, and they go into a game against. Who do they go into that game against?
Everton.
They go into a game against Everton, which Everton are doing okay. They're not doing too bad.
Yeah.
And Chelsea are on the same point. Chelsea and Aston Villa both on the same points. Chelsea have, of course, that big game against Nottingham Forest, and Aston Villa go into the game against Manchester United. So Fulham could cause an upset. I see it. They've had a great season, to be honest with you. I think Fulham have kind of gone under the radar as a team that's done really well in a lot of the games that they played this season, even if they've been losing. But I don't see a way that City can fall out of the top 5 unless they lose and the other 3 teams win. So in order for City to kind of drop out of Champions League places, they need to lose against Fulham and have Newcastle, Chelsea, and Aston Villa win all their games, which
doesn't.
is possible.
Yeah, I think there's too many things that need to go wrong for City to unfortunately drop out.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, look, stranger things have happened, so I'm not ruling it out. And I think a Man City fan might have just joined the chat now as well. But I think they'll have too much, and I think De Bruyne is not going to leave on a loss. If he does leave now, he's going to leave with one more win. So I think City's basically my opinion is that City confirms third, right? And then I think it'll be Newcastle, and it's going to be Aston Villa. Yeah.
I just don't know what Fulham is
to round out the top
right
5. I like that.
Yeah.
Like in terms of like trying to like motivate him to.
I thought maybe Fulham would be playing for that extra Conference League place.
Yeah, no, it's like out of their reach. So,
but
Brentford's on 58. So if
Brighton's on 58. Yeah.
Brighton, sorry, Brentford could beat Wolves, but also I don't know. Who do Chelsea have in the Europa? They have Betis, eh?
They have Betis in the final.
Okay, now Anthony to stand. Anthony to absolute stand. Anthony
there you go.
To turn up there. So it could be a long week for Chelsea as well. If something doesn't go favorably for them on Sunday, then I think next weekend, next week Wednesday, right? The 28th or something like that. That could be a bit of a crazy game as well. So Conference League.
It's weird how the Conference League plays their final after Europa League. That seems odd for me. That's very, very weird.
There was some explanation that they made about it. It was a weird one, but I'm not really gonna try to rack my brain to remember what I read.
Yeah,
fair enough. Fair enough. So let's choose our top 4. AF, I'll start with you. My Tottenham jersey is in the wash, but I appreciate the sentiments.
I don't think I've ever seen.
I do own one.
Yeah.
This is it, probably.
You see,
it's probably
everyone sees the United player.
You ask him what he's wearing under that hoodie.
You know
this ready for tonight.
That fan or that meme that they had about FIFA, man, about that one fan that they picked out in every game. Then he's got a Chelsea jersey on, then he's got a United. That's our fan here, like
guys.
Well,
every team on the panel.
He just wants football to win.
Thank you. I'll take that. I take it as a compliment. However, let's be serious for a second. If I had to have a second team that I would support, why would I choose Manchester United?
It'll be Liverpool with Trent Alexander-Arnold on the back.
It will probably be Liverpool.
Yeah, 100%.
Oh, okay. What about Arsenal, guys? I like Arsenal. Come on now.
Not the way that you talk about Arsenal. I ever believe you that you like Arsenal.
Okay,
I love Arsenal.
Back to these top 5 picks.
Okay, so I don't think with mine. So okay, Riyad, what is yours? What is your top 4, top 5?
Okay. I'm not going to go with any hope. I'm not going to go for any hope. I'm just going to go local Arsenal, of course. I'll go with some hope, I suppose. Not going to help, but I'll go with some hope. I'll go with City to draw against Fulham. So still in third, but they'll draw. Newcastle to win and Nottingham Forest to win. But I think, unfortunately, that Villa will also beat United, because that's actually going to be between Chelsea and Forest, and Villa United. I think those two are going to be the games that are going to be interesting this weekend. And yeah, so I think I'm hoping that Forest beat Chelsea. You have to be brave. I love that. I don't love the next comment from you, Austin, but it's fine. That's a fair statement, though. It's a fair statement. Yeah, it's fair. I like to keep it that way. I like to keep it that way, you know. So that people don't come for me randomly.
Hard to get to the football club, my bro. They don't know you, bro. Just admit that you like them, yo.
Look, if my team wins tonight, you will know who I support. Whenever I'm on next, I'll come with my T-shirt. We'll my red one, and
we'll Ajax Cape Town with like a Brett Evans or like a Nathan Paulson on the back.
Yeah, that has to be Ajax Cape Town because Cape Town Spurs got back-to-back relegations.
That's a special skill, my bro.
Yeah.
That's a special skill. Okay, but now wait, give us your top.
Yeah. So I'll go City, Newcastle, Aston Villa, Forest, Chelsea. I think that's the way it's gonna.
Chelsea down to 7. Okay.
Newcastle, Aston Villa, Forest, Chelsea.
Okay.
So then Forest gets Europa League.
Forest, Villa, Chelsea. Forest, Villa, Chelsea. I think that's
Forest.
It can't go that way.
So you're saying
I'm saying Villa will draw.
Villa's gonna draw against United.
Yeah, I think Villa will draw.
You then heard man is gonna have a bring and bribe, bro. They're gonna have the protein in their body. Just galore, bro.
But they have the talisman back.
Bringing the yellow sticks, man.
They have the talisman Zirkzee back. I wish I had that subscription. I'm not gonna lie, but yeah. So that will be mine. I think that's what's gonna happen.
Tell us that he supports like Boda Glimp from Norway if they send him a jersey.
Okay.
Funny story.
Yeah,
yours, please take it away.
Top 6.
Okay.
So Liverpool, Arsenal, Newcastle, City, Villa, Chelsea, Forest.
So you're saying Fulham beat City? Ending of the season, Because Newcastle's going. Okay.
Yeah.
Yo.
Okay, so
give me
that again.
United fan. You see, this guy rips his team now so much that he hates his rivals.
Yeah, you have to.
I love my rivals. What can I say? I love my rivals.
Yeah,
they play good football. What do you want from me? Come on.
You weren't selling at all, bro.
Give me that again, AF. So you said Arsenal, Newcastle.
He said Arsenal 1, no? He said Arsenal 1, Liverpool 2. That's my next season's predictions also.
Newcastle, City, Villa, Chelsea, Forest.
Villa, Chelsea, Forest. But if City lose and Villa win, they will overtake City as well.
Oh, okay.
No, but didn't you say it was a draw? Oh, no, but it's fine. Yeah.
Okay,
no. You said Fulham's going to win, right?
Draw.
So then, and then Fulham. Yeah, no, okay, then City goes to 5th. And then Chelsea would go to 5th.
Yeah, but at the end of the City's still going to make Champions League. So, yeah.
Tough scene.
That's fair.
All right.
That's great.
Nice fair play.
Okay. Anyways, I want to focus on that Chelsea Nottingham Forest game, and I want you to give me kind of Austin kind of laid it out really well earlier in the comments. He said that Nottingham Forest are going to have to kind of play differently. Do we think that they will play differently? And where do we think the key points are in that game for either team to kind of win? What do we think, Jason? I'll start with you.
I don't know if they must change it exceptionally much, right? I think it's a good chance. It's after the season they had, nobody expected them. They finished 17th last season, right?
Yeah.
So nobody expected them to be 3rd for a long period of the season or for an extended
Foreshadowing.
Oh my!
Foreshadowing United.
Are you 17th? I didn't think so. Don't come take my 17th spot.
Second-hand embarrassment hearing you two fight over 16th and 17th. Okay, but no. So I think Nottingham Forest, they have a game at home to basically secure European football. So like I said, I don't know who I was talking about, one of the other teams that was going to be pumping. I think the City Ground, right? That's what it's called.
Yeah.
Nottingham Forest. Yeah. I think they'll be up for it. So I don't think they should change too much. I think they are pretty strong defensively. I think it's just offensively, maybe they've maybe been playing a bit within themselves, and I think it's going to require a big performance from Chris Wood, because when he stars, then everybody else around him plays well. Like of Morgan Gibbs-White, your Anthony Elangas, your Callum Hudson-Odoi, just came back from a hamstring injury, but I can almost see the script being written, right? The former Chelsea boy sings Chelsea and then confirms Nottingham Forest European football. Like you actually can't make it up. And it has to be from like a Ola Aina assist, because he's also a former Chelsea boy. So then it's like, yo, that's a dagger. Then you take it out and you stick the dagger back in. So I don't think there's going to be too much that they need to change. I think the key battle is in that midfield area again is, can we give Gibbs-White the ball to do what he normally does? And somebody that I've always spoken about, and I think he doesn't get as much credit, is Elliot Anderson. I think he's been an exceptional signing for them. And okay, he left Newcastle under a little bit of duress because they had to sell him for like PSR reasons. But I think he's been exceptional. I think he's been really good, and he does everything that you want from a selfless midfielder, right? He wins the ball, gets involved, but he also gives the front players the chance to do what they need to do. So, yeah, I think it's in that midfield area, especially since Chelsea have now gotten a few midfielders that have come into form. So, I mean, Enzo's starting to play a bit better, Caicedo's playing better, and you've got Reece James that's fit and who then comes into the midfield as well. So, I think that's the key area, because both teams require their width. And I think if the midfield gets it, they can spread it wide, and then that's where it becomes cash money.
Yeah.
I love it. AF, I'm going to ask you a bit of a different question just before we get to predictions. Let's say Forest lose, right? They're out of Champions League spots, but they get that Europa League. Can they be disappointed, or should they be excited and like happy about their season that they've had?
I think it's going to be bittersweet for them, because they were in a position to get something more, get something bigger. But if you look at the context of this season compared to last season, I think that they are taking European football, any type of European football, and they're taking it home, and they're happy with that. It also aligns with what the owner, I think his name is Maricanius.
Yeah. The drug lord.
Yeah, he's trying to achieve over there. I mean, he hijacked Edu from you guys to sort of like head up his footballing operations.
Good luck to you,
all the different football clubs, and not only Nottingham Forest, like Olympiacos and all of these other clubs scattered around the world. So there is a sort of a vision that they are trying to achieve over there. And I think like any type of European football is a positive for them, and it's a step in the right direction. So while it may be a bit bittersweet compared to what they could have achieved, I think that they'll still be pretty chuffed with their achievement this season.
But don't you think it will actually be better for them to play Europa League football compared to Champions League football? Don't you think they'll be more aligned with kind of the standard of Europa League football, rather than going into the Champions League football and like kind of
well, they pretty much punched above the class like this season with like getting results. I mean, they were the first team to beat Liverpool at Anfield like very early in the season.
True.
So that was a sort of like statement of intent that they were laying down. So I don't really think that like you can say that, okay, like playing in the Conference League is like their standard or anything like that. I think that they have proved that they can mix with the heavyweights, and I just think that like in terms of finance, also Champions League would have obviously been healthier for them. They got dock points last year for PSR purposes, so any sort of like extra cash injection would be a plus for any club.
I think it's also like, so there's two things, right? There's I think it's a signal of intent with the football that they've played this season, that they are prepared to go to grounds and not just be there. You know, they're there to actually play, and I think it's down to Nuno obviously setting the standard and bringing in a brand of football that works for the players that he has. But the extra cash now, it's also a signal of intent to the market. Like, okay, you know, if we can't get into the top 6 teams, right? The traditional top 6, because I think that's been done away with, right? With those 2 that are languishing at the bottom, I think we must re-look the top 6 now, isn't it?
I agree.
But also it gives them other opportunity to play in the Prem, which is what every player wants to do, but then also still compete at a fairly decent level. So I think Europa would be a good test for them. What this season showed is their squad is too thin to compete for a longer period of time. So yeah, that extra bit of money, maybe it's also like, okay, this is where we are at now, and this is what we've done with X amount of money. Can you now pump some more in so we can get some more players and we can be a bit more competitive and maybe have a longer stretch? I don't think the expectations when this guy took over was, okay, we must be playing Champions League in like 2025, 2026. But if it suddenly becomes a goal by 2026, 2027, then I think that's fine, because they're getting back to Europe when, like I said, last season they were 17th. They were almost back in the Championship. So, yeah, I think it's an exciting period, especially for a club of Nottingham Forest's stature and history. But I don't think they should be. I mean, yeah, you want to be upset that you were there and you almost had it. But like I said, they were punching way above their weight. So to get any European football is good. You can take it. You can win the Conference League. You can be in the Europa. If you get in the Europa and you have a good run, yeah, I think it's good.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, and you made a good point there. I think the kind of what's going to stop them from kind of competing on that level is the squad depth. So I think they need to kind of invest there into that squad depth, just to be able to kind of, because like we said, when Chris Wood got injured, they struggled, and when you don't have that kind of replacement or someone to come in to kind of at least be that focal point or the way you play, or at least you can change the way you play because you can bring someone else in, like the bench, as we know. The two of us, AFS, we know very well the bench is super important, and when your bench is absolutely useless, unfortunately, you end up being useless yourself. So, can I get some predictions to you for that Chelsea Nottingham Forest game, please?
I'll jump us off there. Coming at the City ground, I'm going to go. I think it's Nottingham 2-1.
Okay, I like that. AF.
I think it's going to be a draw. I think like both teams are going to be trying to achieve the same thing, and they're going to end up balancing each other out because both of them essentially need to win.
Yeah. So a draw what would a draw do? Let me just check this. A draw
takes Nottingham to 66 and then Chelsea to 67. So
okay. So basically everything stays the same. Forest stays in 7.
Well, yeah, look, so Forest stays 7, but then if Villa win, then they go above Chelsea. So then Chelsea go down to 6. Europa,
I see. I get you. And which they are in anyway, technically. So if they win the Conference League, of course. All right. So I'm gonna go with the 2-0 Forest win, just because I think they want to finish strong. I think they really want to finish strong.
We're going to come back if we just keep talking smack about his team. But let's hear some of the predictions there. And there's nothing in the chat right now, but if you have anything, chat's gone quiet now because we were talking so much knowledge about Forest. Let us know what the thoughts are. But so we've got
Chat's going to come alive now soon. Yeah. But I think either way, Chelsea will make it Europa League minimum. So they've had a good season if you think about it, because they've also fallen off quite a bit from the start of the season. So for them to still be in and around there is pretty good for them. In no way am I saying that they've had a bad season. But it's time for the main event. Actually, just before we get to the main event, I don't know if you guys watched the City game last night and the tribute that they had for Kevin De Bruyne at the Etihad Stadium. It was really, really cool. Like, as someone obviously who doesn't support, now you're going to tell me I support City, but it was really.
You just said it now, and the fans are going to think it, but we know that you support Liverpool, man. It's fine, as you were.
It was really like cool to see a team kind of sending off a long-time servant, and especially someone who was probably one of the best midfielders technically that the Premier League has ever seen. They had like a video for him with all his teammates that he's played with, and They wished him well and all of this. It was amazing. They interviewed him on the field. They gave him a lap of honor. And people were singing that the stadium was as full as it gets, I guess, which is not that full, but I mean, it was full for City fans. And the goat was sent off properly, which is really nice to see. I don't think you see that often enough, let alone players spending 10 years at a club. I don't think you see a send off like that enough in the kind of climate, especially if people go for free when they boo you. That's just a slight shot at other people. But did any of you catch that? How did you feel about it? Are we sad that De Bruyne is going to leave?
I don't care. I don't care.
This is the world class hater.
This
is
ridiculous.
Top 5 midfielders preview next season, and De Bruyne is in there for him. Yeah,
from this past season.
No, not from this past season. All time.
Of all time.
Yeah.
You still won't go in yet, bro.
He's City's most decorated midfielder of all time.
Doesn't matter.
He didn't do what the man has 6 Premier League trophies, which is what?
He didn't do what. He was Spanish.
Oh.
Plain and simple.
Okay, so
because he was Spanish. From Belgium. He likes paella over little chocolates. I don't understand it.
That doesn't make sense. And
lineup for tonight, by the way.
Okay,
lovely stuff. Okay, let's get into it. Also, Ramiz Mamushi is amazing.
Yeah.
But anyways,
some lineups there.
We have Spurs over here. We have Vicario in goal. Then we have Pedro Porro at right back.
Best right back in the league.
We have Romero and Van der Ven, centre backs.
Best centre back pairing in the league.
Udogie, left back. And then holding that midfield, Basuma and Bentancur.
Oh no! Oh god!
And then further up we have Sa, we have Johnson, Richarlison, and then Solanke heading up top.
Andy Johnson playing for Spurs.
Brennan. And then
the ball,
Son
Andy.
on the bench.
Isn't it funny that Bentancur plays and Son doesn't, guys? We remember what happened.
No, it's not. It's not funny.
I think Bentancur has some sway in that team, but also Son's downfall has been ridiculous.
Yeah.
But okay, AF's got United's team, and I heard Onana's playing in the midfield. He does.
Of course, yeah. Onana in goal, Mazraoui, Maguire, Lenny Yaro starts.
How many times has it like been injured? And every game he just starts again. It's this foot injury, it's that muscle thing. The bruh start again, man.
Wing backs are Dogu and Luke Shaw, so 2 left-footed wing backs. Casemiro and Bruno Fernandes sitting back, and then Ahmad and Mason Mount just behind Rasmus.
Oh, that scares me. That scares me.
That scares me.
The most misfiring front line. And
what do you mean?
Rasmus scored the first goal in the final.
Do you know what? I honestly believe that I'm gonna just pick up my manager if you're gonna ask me to do that. So I'm just not gonna do that. Honestly,
asking the hard-hitting third-degree question. Deborah Patter would be proud.
I mean, AF, honestly, firstly, I think Mazraoui is gonna play wide, and Luke Shaw will be in on the left, and Leonardo will play in the right, and then Togo obviously wide left.
I also think that's what's going to happen.
This is Amorim's brothers.
Yes, I am. I am Amorim's brother.
This one knows the tactics.
And that's I'm gonna come on to that though, because I fully agree with you. That's it's gonna change the game. That's ultimately what's gonna win United the game. But I don't want to get too ahead of myself. I think also looking at the teams, honestly, Jason, let me come to you first because you are the neutral here. Looking at those 2 teams.
Both teams.
Oh yeah, wait. I forgot you were closeted United fan. Oh, okay. But anyways.
Yeah, she is in the one side, yeah.
No, guys,
yeah,
look,
exactly.
Nah.
Dan, if you're watching, like he told me just before we started that he's like secretly hoping United absolutely smash Spurs tonight.
She said that if I don't support them, then the winning's off.
So are we like you have to do what makes you happy. Right?
You mustn't take those threats, Jason. You mustn't take those threats. Come on now.
Okay. Another 2, man. If I don't take that threats, it's gonna be me and you on Long Street, bro.
Yeah, that's what I'm hoping for. That's
No. Maybe I am a closeted United then, just so I can save the marriage that's still coming. But yeah, what are you saying? Are you saying you want me to give a neutral opinion on these two teams?
Yeah, that's exactly what I'm saying. Which team do you think is actually on paper better?
On paper, I think probably, I don't know. I think Man United maybe have a bit more in their midfield. I think the front line, who did we say? It was Solanke, Brennan Johnson. Who was on the left?
Richarlison.
Oh yeah, no, look, anything with Richarlison, guys, I'm gonna tell you now, that guy. The only reason why I think Spurs might get something out of the game is because of what Richarlison said about Vinny. If Vinny doesn't win, then this is gonna happen. That guy's got magical powers. Okay, and I want everybody to hear that I said it tonight. But yeah, I think Man United probably have a better and a more complete 11, and it says a lot if that's what I'm saying about United. I just think Spurs haven't done themselves any favors this season, and I mean Man United neither. But Man United's run probably in the Europa gives them a bit more confidence than what Spurs have. They've basically overcome lots of adversity, and that has some sort of joining power, right? And also this BMP thing that Tower is talking about, I think it's just because United have been to more finals recently and have been the underdog. They've got what it takes to sort of settle into the environment. I mean, Spurs, when was the last final? It was 2019, right? Champions League final?
Correct. The worst Champions League final of all time.
And we're hoping it's not going to be a sus penalty like early on that really deflates you guys. But yeah, I think Man United probably have the edge just because in cup competitions they've been a bit better. So it's very strange to give a prediction. I'm not going to give a prediction just yet, but it's like Spurs have beaten United every time that they've played them this season, right?
Yeah.
But Man United have been to more finals and are probably a bit more relaxed going into it. So it's like when two immovable objects meet. I don't know physics, right? But that can't be good, man. It can't be good for the viewer. So yeah,
it's gonna be tough. It's gonna be tough. Is there anyone in the team can score a goal? That could be true. I know Jason said that Maguire is actually the person that I'm third most worried about, to be fair. But I wanna talk about. Jason said that the front line is misfiring and Højlund is sort of misfiring, but the two behind him, I think, have made a massive difference to the United team. I think that I love them personally as players. I think that they are amazing players. And I think they are going to actually make a difference tonight with Bruno lying a bit deeper. Where do you think kind of the difference is going to be this evening?
Yes, I'm absolutely terrified of Rasmus Højlund up front tonight. I thought that Amorim would try to go for a sort of a false nine or something, because this guy is just like devoid of any sort of confidence right now, and nothing's going his way. I mean, finals are there to make a name for yourself, essentially. But yeah, I think if Spurs can try to get a hold of Lini Yoro, he's been out for a while now. This is his first game back, and he's straight into the firing line. He's going to have some jitters. It's his first final as well. So if they can try to get under his skin early on, which I think Richarlison will try to do, then it could be scary moments for United for the rest of the match.
Yeah, it's gonna be interesting to see. I think that side is a bit of a problem. I think I would have started Odobe, if I'm honest, even though I don't like Odobe personally. I think that just having someone there to kind of go up against Yoro and take him on. Like I remember a game specifically where United played against Southampton, and Sulemana was there. Wouldn't who? Sorry,
Matthijs Staal.
The striker.
Oh, Tel's a good option as well. That's a great shot. I would have played both of them instead of Richarlison, to be honest.
Yeah. I think why maybe
But,
Spurs are trying to, because I mean, look, come second half, you bring on Song, you bring on Odegaard, you bring on Mateus Tal. That's
legs,
like that's legs, that's quick. And then you bring on, okay, I'm not sure who you guys have on your bench, but there's been a thing to always seem to sort of like take Euro off, and then okay, you have the low that can possibly come off, and maybe Lindelof. But yeah, I think Spurs, if anything, right, if you're able to hold out to the first half and keep them there and tire them out a bit, by the time you bring on those second half subs, that's just pace, bro. That's speed for brains, and that's not saying that like Brennan Johnson's slow or anything like that. Like he needs to play his part and actually run them into the ground for this, like run like you gonna be subbed in the 30th minute, blow the full tank there. But yeah, I think probably Euro would be, because that nerves, you know, that sort of that first big clash you're gonna be playing, and also, yeah, I want to say that I mean, I said United have the BMT, but
I think they used a lot of it up in
those games
in Lyon.
Yeah. But then even Bilbao, right? Because I mean, Bilbao were talking so highly, you know, they must come there and stuff like that. And then you put in the most assured performance I've seen in a very long time. And okay, it was a bit of a double jeopardy situation there, but you still have to score the goals, and you did it well. So yeah, let's hope that you didn't play your final at their ground in the semi-final, the first leg, when you put all those goals past them. But yeah, it's basically all of these permutations, right? The Casemiro doesn't lose a final versus Ange wins something in his second season. Onana played for Ajax and Spurs scored 3 past him, but then, I don't know when the last time Spurs kept a clean sheet. So it's just a whole lot of things that are counteracting each other, like this going against this going, and it's either going to be crazy. Box office, right? Or
it's going to be boring as hell.
Like, they're going to go to 120, then they're going to play another 120, and it's just going to keep going. And then
have like 50 penalties.
50 penalties. Everybody's just going to score. Or everyone's going to miss.
Everybody after 50.
What are your thoughts
I'm worried about the midfield, to be honest. The midfield scares the hell out of me. We don't have an out-and-out kind of number 10 or number 8 cam, because we're playing both Bissouma and Bentancur, and that's because our midfield is injured, right? There's no Kulusevski, there's no Bergwall, and Madison is also injured. So all of our creativity in the midfield is gone, and that's where I think we're going to struggle a lot. But as long as we can be tight there, I think Ange has changed. As much as everybody says that Ange didn't like to change the system, he plays one way. We changed the way we've played in the past. It doesn't help us, but we've changed the way we've played. We no longer play that kind of through the middle. Bissouma picks it up on the edge of the box and he tries to drive and he keeps it off there. It's no longer like that. So the problem with that is the midfield hardly gets on the ball, and it's a struggle for us to push past people. And with that midfield of Casemiro and Bruno, I think we'll struggle because they're better than us in the midfield at the end of the day. So it's going to be very difficult for us to kind of find a result this evening. I think if United score first, there's no way we'll come back. I think the only way we'll have to, or we can do something, is if we score first. Because I think United have too much of that BMT to let it slide. So that's going to be, I think, for me, the tough one, and how the game is going to go. I just hope for a good game, because the last time I played, my team was in the final. It was a shady penalty decision, and it was bought ever from that moment. So unfortunately, we'll have to see how it goes. I hope no penalties. Please, Ramirez, don't wish the penalties. I don't want any contentious VAR decisions. I don't want anything like that. I especially don't want Maguire up front, because then they will score. I don't want any of that type of stuff. No funny business happening.
Why against Romero? That's actually box office stuff there. Romero will 100% punch him.
Yeah, but
and then hurt his hand because of Maguire. Slab it, bro. Get involved.
Maguire, I mean, I think Romero will try and punch him, but then the ball will ricochet off Maguire's butt or something and go in somehow. That's Maguire has that nous to score, you know. He has that nous to score. But yeah, let's go on. Let's go on to our predictions. Jason, I'll start with you. Give me a prediction for this massive final.
I specifically gave one for the Nottingham Forest first because I wanted to hear what you guys are going to say. I must give more. I think it's
AF can start if you want.
No, it's fine. I think it's going to be extra time, man. I think it's going to be like a 2-2. And then extra time, and then pens. Houston and Vicario. I think United win it on pens, actually.
Fair enough.
And Dan, if you were listening to that, I want you to remember that.
Brownie points in the bag. You'll have to see it. AF, give me your thoughts. What's the prediction going to be?
I'm nervous as hell, bro. I'm just gonna put that like out there, like my palms are sweaty.
I'm gonna make this.
Arms are heavy.
I'm gonna make this one sugar water before I leave here.
Like I'm backing the boys. 2-1 United. Whether it's in normal time or extra time, I think we get the win 2-1.
Liquor.
Fair enough. I'm gonna go with a 1-0 Manchester United. It's going to be both. I think it's going to be a both game. I'm backing the boys all the way through. I unfortunately think it's going to be a both game. These teams are 16th and 17th in the league. 3-1 United. It could be 3-1 United in all honesty, because our defense is leakier than. I'm not going to make that description, but it's going to be. I just think it's going to be a both game. At the 16th and 17th on the Premier League table, we have been horrible the whole season, both teams. We don't deserve to be here. We deserve to get the trophy and to go up because we did well in this competition. So anybody that's saying that this is nonsense, that the 16 and 17 can make Europa League makes no sense, to be honest. Yeah, I didn't want to say it, but thank you, AF. Anyways, the last question, just before we sign off, I want to ask you is, in your opinion, if Ange wins this title, does he stay or is he going regardless?
I think he stays. I think he stays.
I think he leaves, right? Proves that he can win something in his second season and then just buggers off. There's no way that. I still think that this is a similar situation to United, right? If they win it, it's going to paper over a massive crack.
Yeah,
that's in the system. So, okay, you can win it and then you'll win something. But I think about who's the longest serving manager that you've had? Was it Pochettino?
Yeah.
In recent times, I don't think either he stays, right, and then he's gone within the first 2 months of next season, or he just leaves now.
I don't think it's sad though, because we know Amorim is going to stay regardless of the result. Amorim is staying. They're going to persist with him, and then maybe next season we'll reassess, which I think is the right decision.
Yeah.
I want to back my manager. I want to back my manager. And I want to see. That was a good save.
You're gonna shut us down. I'm sorry I posted it on here.
The only reason is, like I said before, is because unless we bring in a decent manager, there's no. He's the best one that we can have. I don't want Thomas Frank. I don't want Ole Glasner, even though Ole Glasner did really well. And I like they playing three at the back, even though those are all things that Glasner does. I don't want Marco Silva. I don't want any of these players. I want Andoni Areola. I want an upgrade on Ange. All of those people I see as equal to Ange, even though obviously they've had a better season than us. But I just think that if we're not going to bring
saying is a contradiction. I think in English it's called a contradiction.
Just personal. That's my personal opinion about Ange. I like Ange. So I would like to see him stay, but I think regardless of whether he wins or he doesn't, I think he's leaving, which will be sad. Anyways, that's our show for today. Thanks so much. Sorry, what you were going to say something.
In the chat, like what you guys think the predictions are for tonight's game as well.
Yeah, give us some predictions in the chat. Just before we end, we'll shout you guys out as well. But yeah, it's just under an hour under an hour to go for that final. I'm not nervous yet, but I will get nervous. You see, this is the nice thing about supporting Spurs. You don't have any expectations. We expect to lose, so it's all good. Anyways, Jason and AF, where can people find you on socials?
At the SportyCast HQ. Simple. At SportyCast on all the major platforms. That's the show itself. At Jason_Ronnie. I think this evening I can sit, right? And I'll put more of my thoughts out because I don't need to stress about Declan Rice, making a few back passes or Kivio missing a ball. So, yeah, I will be watching the game. I'm quite eager to see who makes the first mistake. I think that sets the tone for the game. So, yeah, you can find me there. Don't look for me anywhere else, please, because I will get the restraining order. I'm joking.
Thanks for that, AF.
Yeah. No, 100%. I'm somewhat of a well-known guy.
Okay.
Oh, golly. AF, tell people where they can find you.
Yeah, at AFParker642 on every social media platform. And
on YouTube, apparently.
Plug the personal one there. Let the guys know that you don't only watch comedy when you watch United, and comics and animation stuff. It's real stuff.
Movies.
Okay.
Movies and TV shows.
Lovely stuff.
You can check that on YouTube. That's Geeky AF. And yeah,
that's lovely.
It would be cool if you guys would be a sub over there.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Go reach out to AF.
Subscribe from SportyCast and give it to AF.
Don't do that.
Yeah. But
Austin, that sums us up perfectly. I think that sums us up.
But Austin, give us a prediction, mate. Yeah, give us a prediction as a Chelsea boy. Who do you want to win the game?
None of them.
He's
gonna say
and honestly, I think Jason cares a little because if United lose, he's gonna get some puck a little bit. Just a little bit.
It is my fault if Man United lose.
I'm sure it
will. The way the world works, Riaz. If you haven't learned it already.
I haven't. I'm lucky enough not to have learned that yet, but I'll get there eventually. Fingers crossed.
Where they're gonna find you, and are you going to be tweeting during the game?
No, I won't be. Just to set that expectation. Maybe after the game. I don't like tweeting during games. Things change so fast and. Anyways, maybe after the game, I'll send out a cheeky tweet here and there congratulating my team on winning. Because at the end of the day, both my teams are playing. Exactly. Thank you, Ramiz. That's what I'm saying. Thank you, Ramiz. That's exactly what I'm saying. And Ramiz predicted 4-2. Austin doesn't have.
Austin doesn't have any prediction.
He doesn't have prediction. He doesn't care about the game. He only cares about this weekend.
Austin is just going to appreciate if there's any good football on display. He's going to be like, oh, that's actually a cool move.
Yeah.
That's what I do. Yeah, that's true.
Okay. Now, Austin's rooting for a young Mason Mount.
Yeah, there we go. We love Mason Mount.
100%.
Unfortunately, I love Mason Mount. But anyways, thank you so much, guys, for joining us this evening. Thank you all in the chat. Everybody who's joined us, send us some chats. We follow us on SportyCast on all social media platforms, on YouTube, on Twitter, Blue Sky, Instagram. Give us. Sorry, wait.
Threads
as well, of course. Sorry, I don't know any of these social media platforms.
That's perfect.
That's unfortunate. But yeah, give us a follow. Like the stream if you can. If you don't mind, it takes 1 second to try and like the stream. That's good for the algorithm and things like that. Make sure that you're with us next week as well. We will be next week for the end of the season preview. So catch us next week at 7 p.m. Same time, same place. Review.
And we'll also preview the conference.
League.
Yeah, Conference League is Wednesday night as well.
So it's going to be a full show.
AF's going to be in his real Betis jersey.
Of course. Tying my
with Anthony on the back. There you go.
With the rockside going.
Man's going to wear Puma boots here as well. I love it.
We should have made a bet actually. Loser dyes the hair. That would have been good.
Dyes the hair.
Yeah, dyes the hair. In Anthony's colors.
So well in this house. So.
If you have an extra room at your big mansion there, then you can invite AF over because you have to sleep there, my friend.
Absolutely.
Yeah, there's a nice big couch here. You can sleep anytime. But yeah, thanks so much for joining us, both of you from SportyCast HQ. Thank you so much for joining me this evening. And thank you guys in the chat. As always, it's been lovely. We will see you guys next week. Good luck this weekend and enjoy the last weekend of Premier League football. Peace out.